It's been a couple weeks, but we're back to talk baseball, NBA playoffs, and WrestleMania. This is the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. This is Chad the Mark with
Mr. Brown
and
Canadian Biggie.
And fellas, it's been a minute now. Some of that's my fault. Some of that's y'all's fault. Some of it's just the nature of the beast. You know, we have lives and things are going on. But 2 weeks ago, we didn't do a show because I decided to go to opening day and I had the equipment and you guys were SOL. And then, I don't know what happened last week. Were you out of town, Mr. Brown?
I was in the middle of nowhere climbing rocks.
That's right. He was, what do we call that, BFE?
Yeah, Seneca Rocks, and 15 people have died there since the 70s. And you know what I did?
Be 16.
I took my kids on it.
That's what good parenting's about. Sometimes the baby bird has to leave the nest.
Exactly.
They teach them risk versus reward. They'll remember that view for the rest of their life.
Sink or swim, baby.
That's it. So, I like I said, I got a chance to go to opening day. Absolutely loved it. Had a great time. Sell out. Didn't look like
playing opening day.
They were playing the Pirates, and they lost that game because I went, and then they went on a little winning streak, won 3 in a row, probably the only time this year. But just something about Cincinnati opening day. We got there early, grabbed a bite to eat over in Covington, walked over, and they have all the pregame festivities going on. Anxiety, man. It was ridiculous, the amount of people. So they have like over 100,000 people show up. Only 40,000 are going inside. The rest are just outside doing their thing.
I went last year with Porta, and not even being a Reds fan, and I was pretty overwhelmed at how they shut the streets down. It's like shoulder to shoulder.
That one street is just too much.
It don't matter what the expectation is in Cincy that year. You're right. 100K is showing up for that event.
Yeah, it's a big block party.
Well, that's how we grew up as kids. The baseball season didn't start until the Reds played, or the Reds started the season every year.
And this year the Reds didn't start it.
They haven't. They've done ruined that tradition. But anyway, we haven't got a chance to really dive into baseball since spring training, and we're going to be a little late to the party, but I do want to get some predictions from you guys. But just early thoughts on the season so far. Like Tampa Bay is on the edge of history.
Let's dive onto that.
Let's go.
So they just won their 13th game today.
Did they win today already?
They won today already. So now they are tied with the 82 Braves and the 87 Brewers for the best start in history of baseball since 1900.
So I want to see if they can do what the 84 Tigers did. 35-5 in their first 40, and they won the World Series.
I mean, if you get 35-5, you better win the World Series. But
I posted a list today in the group about the best 6 starts in history since 1900.
How many of them didn't make the playoffs?
3 or 4 of them didn't even make the playoffs.
That's what I was going to say.
The 87 Brewers had 91 wins. It was 7 games out,
and they were third in the division. Yeah. But let's be honest. Playoff format's a little different now.
The Rays are a much different and better franchise than what the Mariners have been, but they're 13-0. The Mariners were 11-2 a couple of years ago. And
I remember that.
And finished, 15 games under 500.
How does that happen?
I just want to give the Rays props, their fans, because guess what? Did you all see what the highest attendance was during this streak so far this year for home?
They hit 8,000?
Oh,
they got up to almost 21K.
21K in a game?
Yeah.
One game, they almost had 20,000.
Tampa.
Not a series.
Correct.
Wow.
That's good shit.
That's good shit, pal.
Everyone retires from up north and moves down south. So unless it's the Red Sox or the Yankees, they're not getting
I think Rosarina gave out free tickets to all the Mexican fans in the WBC.
That probably is it, man. But I love Randy Rosarina, man, and him at Tampa is awesome. Yeah, so I'm not upset that they're doing well. This is good for baseball. It's good for me. I'm enjoying it. It's good shit.
Do you expect this to carry through, Mr. Brown, or is this just a hot start?
Well, I'm gonna give a preview. I do expect the Rays to hold on and win the division because here's the thing: if they go 50 or 500 the rest of the way, they're still in the 90 wins over for the season.
That's one way to look at it.
So I mean, they're going to go better than 500, in my opinion, from here on out. So the Yankees pretty much now have to win 95 plus.
I mean, are the Rays the most feared team in the AL East every year?
Clearly not.
Do the other teams look at the Rays every year and are like, damn it, like I don't know who these people are, but somehow they're going to be in the postseason. Like they're always I don't know. How do they do it?
They are the franchise that all teams should try to emulate. Like, they don't spend. The payroll is probably around $50 million, without me looking, and they're always a 90-win team plus.
Yeah. And, they don't keep people long term, but, Rosarina feels like he's been there for, 3 years now?
Yeah.
So, just
What's
enjoy
crazy
it.
about the Rays is what you just said. That's how you should aspire to be. They're not in, the bottom like the Pirates or do stuff like the A's where they don't send any money.
The worst baseball market, too. Yeah. It's the worst.
They spend just enough money in their developmental system. Wherever their scouts are, have got to be getting poached all the time because they always have like Evan Longoria who they sign right away. He'll be a cornerstone, or younger players. Rosarina. What's the other guy they got down there came up?
Wander Franco.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not only that. They find like retreads from other franchises, like, sure, come on over. Like a Zach Eflin. I know he just got hurt from the Phillies, but he was pitching lights out for them. Yep. They get players like that, and they turn them into like serviceable parts to the well-oiled machine.
Somehow there's something in the water in Tampa. It's just not enough to draw the fans in, unfortunately. But
I had a guy who was like, man, talking crap. How fitting is it they beat your 82 Braves? I'm like, I'm cheering for him. I was born in 82. I don't remember the 82 Braves. I know Del Murphy and Brett Butler was on the team.
He's rolling over in his crib thinking about it.
But I'm like, dude, I want to see it. I want to see how far they can go.
Yeah, let's just enjoy it.
What if they get to like 20?
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way the Yankees come back from that.
That's what happens when you win a World Series a couple years ago as a Braves fan. You don't care about that now.
Yeah,
I got my good stuff.
Yeah.
So speaking of World Series, let's just jump in round robin here. You don't have to really over-explain, but just what's your predictions on the season? So you're already talking about the Rays there a little bit, but let's just go through the AL in general. What do you got?
I mean, like I said, the Rays, I just don't feel like the Yankees are consistent enough in the pitching department, especially with this hot start. Now, if you'd asked me at the beginning of the season, I probably would have picked New York. But now, 13 games in,
those questions where you're like, can I believe in Tampa to do it again? And then they've answered.
They're going to play more than 500 baseball the rest of the way, so I feel like Tampa wins that division. I'm liking the Twins this year to take it back from the Guardians.
They were so bad last year.
Who put 9 on the Yankees today at home in the first inning.
Speaking of Yankee pitching.
Exactly. The AL West, to me, is the biggest wild card. I think it's still going to be the Astros because they just have too much talent, even though they lost Verlander, and they're starting out slow. But the Mariners did not come out of the gate like they should have. They're everybody's darling, and they didn't do it. I do, and I'm going to say I don't care. I think they can make a wild card. The Texas Rangers, I love the Bochy hiring. It gives them instant credibility, and they're right there in the thick of things.
So who's your wild cards? The Rangers?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rangers. We get 2, right?
Yeah.
The Rangers are going to win a wild card, and then I'll have the Yankees.
Yeah. I figured one would be out of the AL East for sure there, but I mean, I can kind of go with that. The AL Central, I don't know. I don't know what to make out of it.
Nothing comes out of the Central. So now here's the thing. The Blue Jays could take away a spot from the Rangers, and I wouldn't be surprised. The Mariners could take a spot away from the Rangers.
Yep.
I'm just going on right now.
No, I got you. But what I was saying about the Central is that's got to be your least confident pick, right?
I think that just one team comes out of the Central, and it's going to be the Guardians or the Twins, but no one else.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody else. That's what I'm saying. I just feel like
no way.
I mean, you're probably right.
No, I mean,
but
the only
I'm
other
saying,
team it could be is the White Sox.
Of all divisions,
it ain't going to be the White Sox.
It ain't going to be the White Sox. We've done thought they were going to evolve, and that didn't happen.
See, I'd have to disagree with you in the AL East for this reason. I think that the Yankees obviously haven't played as well as the Rays have to this point. Having said that, a 13-0 start, the Yankees are only 4 back in the loss column. They're still waiting for Rodon to get healthy, and they'll make a move if they need to.
They got the deep pockets for sure. Enough to get that wild card.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
All right, switch over to the NL real quick.
You don't want to give your prediction?
I mean, I was aligned with you, except for I was just trying to say I have no confidence of picking anything in the Central.
All right,
I don't
okay.
care. So, NL, let's start with the East.
I used to not want to badmouth or curse my Braves, but the Braves are winning the East. They're the class of the East. Even with the injuries, they're going to win the East.
So you're not jinxing it?
No,
good.
They're just going to win it.
Okay.
The Cardinals in the Central. I know they're starting out slow. The Brewers started out hot. I'm going with the Padres in the West. Padres are looking good. They just took 3 out of 4 from Atlanta in Atlanta. but like half their damn starters are out. So
you like Padres, Cardinals, Braves as division winners?
And then I'm going to go Dodgers, wild card, and then I will go Mets, wild card.
Interesting.
I don't know if I can disagree with any of that. I mean,
I guess the only thing I'm a little different on, I agree with, is in the Central.
Probably it's going to be the Brewers.
I think it's the Brewers.
Yeah. I mean, I
if
do
the pitching
too.
stays
If
healthy,
like Burn or Woodruff's already on the IL, which kills my fantasy team. So I'm hoping he gets back healthy. But they have the best 1-2 combo in the division.
And I have Burns, and he's sucked through 2 starts, so he needs to get back.
I got Peralta. He's done all right.
Woodruff gets going.
I just feel like the
other
Cardinals
4.
are the better overall team.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I like the Brewers from a pitching standpoint.
And I love Craig Counsell, man. He's a hell of a manager. Every year he's got him in the
They're
race.
always there. They're always an 85 win team.
They're kind of like the Rays of the NL.
Yep.
With a little bit more payroll.
Yep. Somehow,
Yeah.
which is odd.
I love me some Padres. Not only are the Padres, I think, going to win the division, but once Tatis gets back healthy and they start rolling a little bit more, Cronenworth's a really good player. I think they're going to end up having the best record in the National League.
So for the last 30 days, there's a guy at America's Pastime, the baseball group. He's a huge Padres fan. Every single day he makes a Tatismas post and how many days until Tatismas is
So he's got the advent calendar for
exactly every day, and he's even making TikTok videos trolling the group. It's amazing.
What's the consensus on Tatis? Is he hated now because he cheated?
I mean, he's not well liked.
He wasn't like overly well liked to begin with, right?
He was a love him or hate him guy from the start because he was so
a little cocky.
Yeah. I will tell you what, though, that Tatis, Bogarts, Soto.
Soto's been struggling. He finally started to warm up.
Yeah.
He's not used to being pitched to.
True.
Like, he wants to take the walk, and sometimes with me, with that type of talent, you got to expand the zone and impose your will, and he don't do that.
Machado. Cronenworth.
Machado's a man.
The guy they got in center who I'm drawing a blank on right now. Grisham.
He's all right.
To fit out with the rest of those bats, he's pretty solid.
I don't like San Diego's starting pitching. They're not going to match up in October. I'm telling you right now.
So they got Snell and they got
Darvish.
And that's really just drops
Nick
off.
Martinez, come on, man.
It's not that great.
I think their back end obviously is good because Hader's elite. Unless, of course, he has a brain fart.
But unless it's
how are you going to
2022.
get it?
Yeah, what was that? But not the whole year, just
But he's back
3/4
to
of
it this year. But to what you said, you got to get the ball to him.
What happened to him last year? How
That
do
was
you?
the weirdest thing I've
And
ever
then
seen.
all of a sudden, at the end of the season, he's like, "Nah, I'm good," and started playing well again. It was bizarre.
But
Maybe he
back
was
to
getting
Tatis,
traded
though.
and relocating.
There's not a boomer outside of San Diego that likes that guy. I promise.
No, you're not. You speak no lies. All right, what was the wild card picks in the NL, real quick?
I said Dodgers and Mets.
Did you say it?
I agree with those two.
Okay.
I
So
think
you're
there's-
saying that the Cardinals don't make the playoffs?
Nope.
All right.
No Cardinals in the playoffs.
We know the wild card won't be the Central.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Why is the Central bad in both leagues?
That's going to ask.
It's that Midwest funk. Can't play.
Because like if you were to take a bet,
Damn East Palestine, Ohio.
what's your over under your odds? Your wild card team's not coming out of the Central, or they're only having one team, like he said. I mean, 75% of the people would say, "Yep, it's not coming from the Central."
That's all right. It just makes the division race that much more important.
Gives your Reds a chance.
Yeah, I don't think.
You know what the Centrals are? They're that end of the year game where the Jags were 4-8, and all of a sudden now they're 8-8. And if they beat the Titans, who have lost like 7 in a row, they get in.
Yeah.
That's what both Central divisions are.
So real quick, just on the Phillies, in the World Series last year, are they the next team on your list for the wild card, or you feel like they're way down?
I feel like the Phillies were just they got hot at the right time type of team. They're not a
Dude, the
World
Phillies
Series
only
contender.
won like 86, 87 games last year.
I mean, I don't like. I mean, given the fact that Hoskins is out, Harper's out until the All-Star break, they're just. I don't see the Phillies being there. I don't.
All right.
The Mets have enough to maintain.
No, but all right. So, but Dodgers, Mets, is it then Phillies, or do you have anybody else you'd put above them?
No, I think I put the Brewers ahead of the Phillies.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, so real quick, I posed this question, and I want your all's take on it. So, if you had to give me your most beloved player in the history of baseball, who pops in your head?
Like universally beloved?
Yeah, just fans love the guy no matter if he was for them or against them. How do you not love this guy no matter who you root for?
Well, modern,
Just all time.
Ken Griffey Jr.,
right,
Tony Gwynn.
Okay. Did you see my post? Two of those are both on there.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I'm just, well, that's our generation. Like,
Right.
but like, Tony Gwynn, golly shucks, gee willikers.
How do you not love Tony Gwynn? Always
just,
that big smile on
like,
his
that's
face.
the one I wanted to say first, but I think that was just me, and that's why I went Griffey first, because I felt like maybe more people just admired Griffey. He was kind of like the safe, cool. He's the safe Tatis.
Right. I know Griffey's your dude, so let's rule out Gwynn and Griffey. Who was another player that rings for you?
That everybody liked, Fred McGriff.
Milton
Who
Bradley.
didn't like the crab dog?
Fred McGriff was that guy that just came in and hit 30 bombs and never spoke. Like he was a true leader by example. And he wore the Tom Amansky hats and the drills.
Yes.
But like even throughout history, if you'll think about it, not one pitcher's on the list. Because they have to have that it factor.
Yeah, nobody's like, gee, I mean, maybe.
Here's one you'll totally disagree with me on, but Kirby Puckett was a beloved figure.
Yeah, he was until after the fact and off the field type of stuff.
Yeah.
So some other players I listed, you got Yogi Berra.
I'm trying to think of a damn pitcher now.
Yogi Berra. Lou Gehrig, of course.
Yeah.
And then you have Roberto Clemente.
Yep. That's a real good one.
And then Hank and Willie.
Thurman Munson.
Thurman's a great one.
Yeah.
But when you have an award named after you, Roberto, it's probably Roberto. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Okay. What?
I mean, Hank Aaron is probably the most, maybe not the most famous,
Jackie.
baseball players,
Yeah.
but anyone who ever tells a story about him says that he was nothing but a great guy.
See, and I didn't put Jackie on my post because you got to think about it. At the time, not everyone loved Jackie because they weren't happy about him breaking the color barrier. So he wasn't really beloved at the time he is now.
Right.
His legacy is now.
For Pitt, what about Tom Seaver?
He's probably the only one you could say it for.
I was digging deep,
That's
man.
the only.
Yes.
That's the only pitcher that was brought up in the group. Was
Really?
Tom Seaver.
Damn, I'm proud of myself.
You're doing good tonight.
Look, I'm gushing. My cheeks
I
are
can
red.
see it.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, if you flip that question just for a second, we could instantly go through and name 10 pitchers that are like the most hated. Because said it kind of makes me think that they got to have that it that
They
over
do.
the top.
Like no one liked Nolan because he will come in and take you out.
Yeah.
Bob Gibson will hit you if you get a hit off of it.
Hey,
Randy Johnson.
That was the next name I was going to say. Yeah.
So they're nasty.
You got to have that dog in you, so I get it. Man,
There's that thing that's talking about the old timers game. It was 10 years after Bob Gibson retired, and when the guy that came up and played, he hit him because he had no run off him 10 years ago.
I love that.
It's his receipt.
Yeah.
So we want to touch on pace of play real quick.
Yeah, because I got to go to a game.
What was your thoughts live? Because I haven't been yet.
There was only one violation, and it was really inconsequential. You can see the pitch clock. It's on the wall.
Being there live, did you feel rushed?
No, I tell you what. The only thing that stood out to me live, and remember, this is packed house sellout. Fourth inning, I missed the entire fourth inning because I went to get a drink, and the inning went so quick. Like I came back,
You blinked, it was over.
and so this happened also. Like listening to on the radio, like going into the store and getting like one or two things and coming out, and it's like the next inning.
Right.
And so like I didn't notice that until recent, but although it was good. You kind of would watch the clock a little bit to see how close they would get.
They were counting down in one of the. I think it was. I don't remember where the stadium was, but on TV,
Yeah.
they were counting down. On the
Yeah,
clock.
if it's going to be a way to harass the pitcher,
Right.
I mean,
That was one of the coolest things. I don't remember where that was, but you only see that in like when they're counting down guys who take a long time at the free throw line. I love that happened right away. That the fans
yes,
picked up on.
like
That was very cool.
that could be advantageous to some. So the pace of play there was really cool. Liked that. Like the pitch clock thing was good to me because I'm one of those guys that hated the people that have to adjust their jock and their gloves and everything a million times. And this kind of just puts it back to how we were raised to play the game, get in the batter's box and play. The one thing I really don't like is the pickoff rule, and we'll get to that, I guess.
No, go ahead.
But it's you get 2 attempts, third one.
It clearly gives a runner the advantage.
And so the benefit is we're getting, more stolen base attempts.
We're back in the '84 Cardinals.
I mean, it's so once you have that first pickoff attempt, like they're ready to go now.
Right.
I like that rule more than the pitch clock because how could you stall on at bat? You throw over 5 times. The fact you can't do that, you got to pitch to 3 batters. They limited mound visits. To me, all those things are better and more important for the pace of play than.
Wow, who was that? Sorry to cut you off.
Oh,
that was ugly.
It's Newman. He's
standing up. Yeah, he going to concussion protocol.
Yeah,
I promise.
He's let me.
Oh no, he's still.
Yeah, put him on first base. You'll be all right.
We don't have no 10 out here.
That's
just here it is. Bang!
Shoulder.
Right,
He's all right. He's all right. All right.
Sorry.
Back to the podcast. Yeah. That was good, though. You never know what's going to happen. We're live here. Not for you guys, but we're live.
Yeah.
But no, so the game I went to was over 3 hours. There was a lot of hits in it. But that was opening day, and I heard it was 2 hours and 40 minutes everywhere else for the most part. But man, I have nothing bad to say. I hate the ghost runner rule still. That's dumb, but I get it.
Ghost runner rule is real gimmicky. I hate that. The pitch clock, and maybe it's just me, but whether a pitch comes every 14 or 19 seconds because it's 15 to 20 with a runner on, or other 26 seconds, I could care less if a guy shrugs his shoulders a little bit and then pitches. That stuff never bothered me.
I feel go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
The speed of the game in one way, and I'll get used to it, but you missed a 4th inning. I missed 2 innings of a Mariners game because I had to do a work thing that took 6 minutes. But it went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and what the hell?
Yeah.
So I feel like the pitch clock, the umpire should have some discretion, just like they do in the NFL with a snap count. If it's counting down and give a second or two.
They have to see it be at 0 before they call it.
Let it play out, because to me, I sure as hell don't want to see a game end that way.
I would have been okay if both versions of the pitch clock had an extra 5 seconds on it, because it's that's not going to be hugely impactful to the pace of game, I think, and it gives them a little bit more time to get comfortable. The thing that I really noticed about it though is the second that ball's back, it's on, it's going. They're not even there's no discretion.
You already know what you're throwing. You've agreed to it. One thing I like about it is you do these advanced scouting reports, so when you come into the game, you know how you're going to attack a batter, so you don't necessarily need to have 3 mound visits per bat to see what pitch we're throwing. What I've loved is the gamesmanship from the batters. Eugenio that we got from you guys will do this thing, and he's been in a good group. He'll get in the box, but he doesn't look at the pitcher until there's 8 seconds left. That's as long as he can possibly wait. Well, the pitcher can't throw until he looks at him. So pitchers that like to throw right away, he won't look at them so that they can't throw the pitch.
So he's figured out his little niche to play off on that. But
to me, the other really interesting thing is you get 1 timeout per at bat. When do you call?
Yeah.
There's some gamesmanship.
I think you definitely don't do it right away. You get a couple pitches in there. How's that working out for him so far?
Well, good in the last week.
So for me, not my first game's in May live, but just my opening perspective for the first week and a half. I don't mind it on TV because let's face it, if you get the game over in 2.5 hours instead of 3 hours, you're not mad about it because you're watching on TV. Now, I can't say I would love it if I'm there, but I haven't been to one yet. I feel like I would be getting robbed of the money I pay, and I'm just saying that, but I haven't been there yet. So
I just look at it like you just said and what he said with missing the inning. You're used to being able to sit and really relax and enjoy a ball game.
Right.
You feel like
I'm there for the whole experience. So for me, the longer I'm there, the happier I am.
I could have missed an inning under the old rules too. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's necessarily the same thing. What I will say, it was interesting. And my line of sight was I was in left field, so I'm looking right at the pitcher to the clock at home plate, it's all right in front of me. So it actually added that element of the game, which was unique. And then, for some people, you could tell them, it's you could hear the crowd. He just got that off. They were paying attention to it. So that was kind of neat.
So Biggie, so you brought this up today, and it was a good point. They just recently changed it. pace of play has also affected how much money they're losing on beer sales, and they put it now to the 8th inning. So, what's your thoughts on all that?
Well, with the game going as quick as you get.
I mean, go ahead. I have a very specific thought on this.
No, Biggie brought it up. Go ahead.
With the pace of the play being quicker, and you have vendors that pay so much money to be there, plus the advertising within the game, if you're going to stop at the 7th inning before, and you do that now, you're losing 20 minutes a game, which is how many beer sales, because everybody comes out for last call. So when does the dollar value of that person in your park override how fast the game are? So they moved it back an inning. Anyone, and I saw this from Phillies pitchers, who said he doesn't like it because that extra inning, that gave guys enough time to sober up before they got home and they were going to drive and kill people. Let me tell you, if he's going to drive and kill somebody in the 8th, it was going to happen in the 7th. The guy running for that last beer typically has had enough. He's
had 20 already.
I get that. That was my big conundrum here looking at this was because why did you stop at the 7th inning?
Yep.
Why?
What was the specific reasoning for it?
Like, why did they do it? I mean, you know the answer.
Yep.
It looks good that we're not sending drunks out into the street. Let's give them 3 innings to sober up. So the fact that they moved into the 8th inning is pure hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's like when they say they care about player safety, but you can tell they don't kind of thing, like getting hit in the head, going to first base, that sort of deal. That money is so important to them. Within the first 10 days of the season, they got to feel the pressure. There's got to be sponsors ads out there saying, whoa, we're paying less for the next TV deal or next naming rights or whatever that crap.
So it's just one of those side effects no one thought about.
Yep.
But like when you're talking about it in the scale of time, I mean, you're probably losing 15 minutes of alcohol sales is what it looks like it probably is. So I don't know.
Which 15 minutes, but you put that over 81 home games and now you've lost, a week's worth of time?
I guess.
35, 40 hours.
Or maybe people drink a little quicker. Maybe they know.
Pound that shit.
It's the 5th inning. I've only drank 6.
Hey, you know what that means? Shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Beer snake. Well, just to break any cycle of normalcy here, we'll talk a little NBA because the playoffs / play-in game, I don't know, does that count as playoffs? That took place the past couple days. So I know, is this the first playoff win the Bulls have had since Derrick Rose?
No, I mean, they've had some playoff victories and lost in the first round.
Okay.
They are the first 10 seed to ever win a play-in game.
That's it. Raise that banner. Hell yeah. So,
19-point comeback. I watched first Bulls game I watched all year from start to finish. Lucas wasn't feeling well, so we sat out in the living room, watched the whole game, and they're down 19 in the third quarter. He's like, Dad, Levine's heating up. Bulls are coming back.
How many did he have? Did he have like 40?
38, I think.
Yeah.
Like 31 of them were in the second half.
The real MVP was DeRozan's daughter.
She was. She showed up.
Yeah.
She showed up. So that was. Can you replicate that noise?
I think it was more like.
And then everybody missed a free throw after that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect? That's good stuff.
That's that thing like, can you make the most annoying sound in the world?
Right, just a little Dumb and Dumber humor.
Yes,
Can
yes,
you
there you go. That's what she was doing. Every single foul shot.
Oh, it worked. They missed, 18 free throws?
That's right.
That's what we're here for with playoff basketball. 18 missed free throws because of a little girl screaming.
I love it.
For the second time in 3 years of the play-in, the Lakers and LeBron are in it. They beat the T-Wolves in overtime. And it was like a sloppy finish to regulation, but kind of crazy at the same time. I think they both scored 5 points in the last 40 seconds or something like that.
So why not just open the entire thing up to every team? Let's just do like a March Madness tournament with all the NBA teams. One and done until you get to the Final Four.
The funniest thing about the NBA is they can't get these guys to play 65 games. They made that the new rule to be eligible to win an award. People talk about shortening the game to the season to 72 games. What do? Next year, 1 or 2 teams plays 83 games because they have an in-season tournament also.
Yeah, what is that supposed to be? What is this in-season tournament they're doing?
Gimmicky, not even, I don't know.
This is, so like we're talking about baseball rule changes. This hokey NBA shit, I can't deal with. But I guess, the regular playoffs start now. I mean, do you have any wild
They don't
predictions?
start yet till we still got playing games.
Oh,
Tomorrow night,
all right. So what's
the Bulls
left?
play the Heat. The winner of that one's the 8 seed. They get slaughtered by the Bucks.
Gotcha.
And the Thunder and Timberwolves play. The winner of that one is the 8 seed and plays the Denver Nuggets.
All right, so they'll lose too. So that being said, the playoffs are going to start then. How do you feel about the East? If you want to give me your prognostication, is it Milwaukee just straight up and everybody else, or do you feel like Boston's there?
Milwaukee stays healthy. They'll come out of the East. I think it's Bucks Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. I know there's a lot of love right now for the Sixers. Embiid should be the MVP. Harden's had an outstanding year. They're still coached by Doc Rivers. They'll lose in the second round.
That's all they need is Doc Rivers.
Me, honestly, the Celtics, man, until someone beats them. Because Missoula came in and
57 wins.
First-year coach, and they haven't skipped a beat. And Celtics, they play well in the playoffs, and they spread the ball well. They play defense. That's their identity is the defense. And plus they have Tatum doing their thing. So I feel like the Celtics are the team to beat, even though the Bucks are the 1 seed.
If they play that playoff defense style and not everybody's ready to turn it on, they definitely make some noise in the first couple rounds. But it's probably Boston, Milwaukee.
It's one of them, too.
I feel like Philly's just a hair below that.
If you look at Boston Game 4 of the Finals last year, they missed some shots they should make, and Curry goes off for like 40-something. When the Celtics were getting ready to take a 3-1 series lead, we could easily be looking at them as the defending champs. So 2 first-team All-NBA guys, Missoula, Smart, Williams is healthy. I mean, I'm taking the Bucks because I'm a huge Giannis fan. I think he's the best player in the game. But I would not be surprised at all if the Celtics take the East.
Biggie, I just found his shoes down at the mall for $70. The new Giannis.
The new Giannis is, what brand is he repping?
Nike.
Is he really?
And I'm wearing them. Not today. Because they hurt my feet.
Supposed to say I'm wearing them because I'm a freak.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, on the other side, before we get into the Western Conference prediction here, the hell, man, the Pelicans were in the play-in and Zion didn't play because we didn't talk about this pre-show. I just now remember this.
I'm glad you brought it up. He says, I'm not hurt. I just want to come back when I feel like Zion again.
He is third person. He went straight professional wrestler. If you smell... No, we're not doing that.
Lay off the gumbo.
He said he'd be more
Gumbo.
conditioned to the team as a supporter from the bench.
I think he's retiring and becoming a shrimp boat captain.
He is. I mean, I have one of the weakest hot takes ever. Was a few years ago when he got drafted on this show. I said that RJ Barrett will be the better pro than Zion. And then I really felt like stupid the first year because I was like, oh, but then he hasn't played except for like 3 games since then. So
did you know, I saw this stat. Zion has played in around 30 more games in his first 4 years than Joel Embiid did.
Really?
Yep. Remember Embiid missed?
Yeah.
So that's crazy. I never would have guessed.
Are you forecasting this turnaround?
No.
So, you're just going to bring up that Embiid did it, but Zion, no chance in hell.
He likes the gumbo.
He got in shape, and then he got fat again. Like, we ain't body shaming you, bud.
Dude, Embiid wanted to be great. He's a big man. He said, how do I shoot? He said, I Googled how do white people shoot.
Yeah.
You look at him.
That's pretty good.
He moves like a Keem in the post. He wanted to be great. Zion, he's got money. He's big. He's like, maybe I'll go play defensive end or something. They already gave him his second contract.
Is he going to be the greatest one-hit wonder in college that didn't pan out?
Maybe. Well, yeah. Greg Oden was pretty damn good, too.
But he played 4 years in college. He wasn't that,
No, Greg Oden played 1 year.
He only played
Then
1
he
year?
left.
Really?
And then he missed his whole first season
shit.
after being drafted because he had the microfracture knee surgery deal.
Yep.
I feel like that Zion had way more hype though coming out than Greg Oden even.
I agree.
Like when a dude's freaking ripping his Nikes off his feet just by playing.
Yes.
Playing at Duke.
Because too much torque.
We'll say this. There's one other series in the East in the first round that's just weird to me. Knicks, Cavs.
Why is that weird to you?
Just because the Knicks have been in the playoffs and second straight year here with Thibodeau.
Tom Thibodeau.
And
Tibbs. Defense only.
it's New York basketball. Back-to-back years in the playoffs after being down for so
The
long.
mecca of basketball.
And I feel like no one talks about it anymore. And then they're playing the Cavs.
Only
who-
Spike Lee.
Well, they need to win a playoff series. Didn't they lose in the first round last year?
They did. They won one game, really incredible though, at the buzzer, and they lost the rest.
Anthony Davis is looking down from heaven about this series.
You got the Cavs who were in the playoffs for like the first time since
LeBron.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the first time without LeBron since before LeBron. So like 20 years.
What did he just say?
It's the first time without LeBron before LeBron.
Since before LeBron.
Sure.
Hey,
that makes sense.
No, this is the first time since Craig Elo.
Yes, that I can relate to. Thanks for speaking my language.
Yes.
When you go to the West,
yes, go to
the other
West,
series that I really like, just as a fan of basketball. Heard a guy say it's the battle for I-80, which I guess is what connects San Francisco and Sacramento. It's the one I sent you guys in a group about the ticket prices. You got the defending champion Warriors are the 6th seed. The Kings are the 3 seed. They're in the playoffs for the first time, like since Jason Williams played there.
Mike Brown, Coach of the Year.
Put some respect.
Mike Brown is a badass coach.
Coach of the Year.
Put some respect on that Kings franchise. It was after White Chocolate. That was Bibby and Christie and them guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weber, Vlade, Scott Pollard.
Probably the best team to ever win a championship.
Right? That year.
It's in the top 5.
Because the Lakers were so good at the time. And they're the only ones that could push them.
For the first time since the great Rick Adelman.
Yes. I love that. So, are the Warrior fans going to take over the Cow Palace or wherever the hell they play at? It's not Arco, but...
Yeah, I think they can because if you live in San Francisco or somewhere in that area and you're a Warriors fan, you must have money. So that means you can afford to pay for 2 tickets for the price of one.
How do you go from champ to 6th seed?
Injuries. And...
It's all because Draymond punches his teammates in the face. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins missed the last 21 or 22 games of the season. His dad's really ill. Steph missed some time. They had another guy that missed some time that I'm drawing a blank on right now. So
probably Poole.
Yeah.
And Clay hit 300 threes this year and is back and healthy after all his injuries, and he was like the healthiest guy on the team.
Here's the thing about the Warriors, though. Like, you still...
I feel like they're just playing for the playoffs.
Right, they were just get in there. They'll be all right. Like, I'm not saying they're the favorite in the West.
As a 6th seed, though, if they made the Western Conference Finals,
you're like, played out perfectly.
It checks out.
All right, so outside...
No, but you didn't even mention the Lakers and the freaking gangsters from Memphis.
That's where we're going next.
Yes.
Cali.
Have the Grizzlies earned the right to talk like this? Like, they ain't won nothing. Why are they acting like this?
They got street cred.
Oh, easy, John. My bad.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Don't talk bad about him.
No.
So me and Greg were talking about earlier is going to be my favorite series to watch where, I mean, I don't really care if the Lakers win, Grizzlies win. I think it's one of those if the Grizzlies are getting it handed to them, I'm not going to be surprised to see Dylan Brooks throw a punch, start a fight, something along those lines.
How do you get the gangsters versus the men of glass? It's such a weird combo here.
It is. Something's got to give.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Memphis win the series or...
I think Memphis wins the series. The Lakers did go like 16-5 or 6 down the stretch, but LeBron didn't play 13 of those games. And when he comes back,
it's going to disrupt all the chemistry.
It sticks a little more. Austin Reeves, who's had a great season, doesn't get the same run when it's AD, LeBron.
Is this a pass the torch moment where, like, Ja, when he's on the floor, is one of the best young up-and-comers in the league? Does he kind of take this moment now from a LeBron?
Yeah, he's going to.
That's exactly what he's looking
He's going to hit him with the "you can't see me" and point to the ring.
It's much like a Michael and Isaiah moment in the '80s. Does it happen?
I think it does, and you know why? John Morant's the same guy when interviewed said he'd cook prime Michael Jordan, so he's relishing an opportunity to put the king out of the playoffs.
All right, so who's your favorite out of the West, though?
You know,
the Suns.
You know, it ain't Denver because they never deliver in the playoffs.
No, I mean, that's the thing.
Want it to be Denver.
I do too, but you know it's not going to. How can you say Phoenix with Durant, who's played what 6 games with them or something?
They're 7-0 in the games they've played together. I think they've intentionally slow played it. He could have played more games than what he did.
I look at the Suns the same way I look at the Warriors. If they're in the Western Conference Finals, it's not going to surprise me.
So Denver and Memphis are the 1 and 2. the Suns and the Warriors are either the 4 and 6 or the 5 and 6. Either way, they don't match up until Western Conference Finals, and that's what I think the Western Conference.
So you
Finals
think Suns and Grizzlies?
No. Suns and Warriors.
Okay. Oh, that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, because I think it's exactly what you said. The Warriors were just waiting for the postseason. Right. Now they'll go if both teams.
Let a sleeping dog lie, right?
Yeah.
So does that mean, like, are you predicting Kevin Durant just to slay the Warriors? Like, he's going to average, like, 40 a game in that series?
I think he finally gets a ring where he's the primo guy.
Booker's in the background like, what about me?
Yeah.
Shut up.
You couldn't do it till I got here, son. Go sit down, boy. So does that mean after this performance, does he pass Larry Bird for the best small forward of all time?
No. Larry Bird would be being better in today's game. Get out of here.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that was exhausting talking about NBA.
I want to bring one other basketball thing up. You brought it up earlier. We didn't talk last week.
Should have ended the segment
about the national title game and Angel Reese with the finger and all that. But Caitlin Clark was amazing through the tournament. When that happened, we were talking women's basketball 2-3 days after the title game.
Never happened.
Never happens.
And it was more. There was more hype around that game than anything could have happened from the men's tournament.
Yep.
Yeah. That's never happened.
Never.
Ever.
So she's coming back, right?
Yep.
Iowa's already stopped ticket sales.
Yep.
Is she a junior or what?
She was a junior this year, I believe.
The girl from LSU's coming back too, right?
She was a transfer because that Caitlin Clark came from Maryland, or Angel Reese went from Maryland to LSU.
Right,
Caitlin Clark has always been at Iowa.
But Angel was the one saying that she's like, "No, I ain't going. I'll make more money now." Yeah, she became the highest MVA or WNBA or female player in college. So and why? She's entertaining. It's all she did was market herself even more and become more.
She's like the female Dennis Rodman of college basketball.
Like, I love it, man. Everybody got in the whole argument about like
made it a race thing.
Yeah, and it's like here's the reality, guys. Nobody saw when Caitlin Clark did it because nobody was watching the women's tournament. Then when it got a little bit down to the wire, more eyes were on it. But
here's an idea though: if you don't like it, win.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't have a problem with any of it, all the way around. It was all fine. It was good for the game, actually.
Yeah, we're talking about it.
Yes.
I didn't care either. I didn't think it had anything to do with race. It was just to get back because Caitlin Clark had gotten so much hype through the tournament. Yeah. LSU was one of the better teams, although Clark did set all the records for points.
Clark made LSU relevant, even though LSU won the championship. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah. I think that it was kind of the same thing as when Luka and Devin Booker got into it like a month and a half ago. And Luka was getting at him because he waited till 3 seconds left to start talking crap.
Yeah.
The only thing I would have liked better, instead of doing it with 10 seconds left, falling around trying to do that, hit a step back in the first quarter and give her the ring and let her know she ain't forgetting it.
Right away.
Yeah.
That's it. But, yeah, I like this isn't bad trash talk. This is good gamesmanship. So I'm a fan of that.
I heard this on Dan Patrick's show. This was his idea, and I think it's freaking awesome. You always do the college basketball kickoff, and usually they'll play on like a Navy ship, and it's 2 men's games.
Oh, yeah.
Do a women's game as the headliner with Iowa versus LSU because they're all coming back.
Run it back.
Yeah, and have the men's game be the game before it, but we've got all this hype built off of it.
Yeah. Why aren't you the marketing person?
That is a brilliant idea, Biggie. Wow. I'm impressed.
No, I love it. Are you listening?
Hey, speaking of impressive things, I want to wrap up and just, I'm a wrestling guy. We didn't get a chance to really talk about WrestleMania, but then also WWE got sold. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Not really sold.
Endeavor Company or something like that. It's the same one that owns UFC.
Yeah, so they're like a $20 billion sports entertainment empire now. They say don't expect to see like anything change. But
what I heard,
but the possibilities are endless. You could do cross promotions, and like if the stars align and have like the champions from each meet.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
If the right guys were there,
you got to have the right people.
I'm just saying, the possibilities are endless.
Well, you've had guys like Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, and a few others that have done both. So it is definitely possible.
Or even a Shamrock back in the day. I'm saying you have the right people, but bring the talents together. Let's see who the real champion is of our whole $21 billion.
I think we know it'll be the UFC guy. guys. Depends on what they do.
Exactly.
From what I heard, too, basically it's going to stay like the UFC. When Dana White sold it, he still runs it.
Yeah,
Triple H,
controlling.
he'll still run.
Did you see who was at the last pay-per-view front row? UFC?
With it was Tyson and
Kid Rock
and Trump.
and then Dana.
Yeah.
So and I'm not trying to get political, but
Oh, you just did, pal.
no. So the baddest black man, arguably in the history of the world, Tyson's sitting up there with Kid Rock and Trump. He ain't worried about none of that shit.
Well, Tyson loves Trump.
I'm just saying that.
But
Like, he's not worried about it.
But like when Tyson was early in his career, like Trump was the guy that was always like, "You come fight at my place. I always got a venue for you."
Well, that's why.
So he ain't forgot.
Dana White are so tight.
Yes.
He's one of the few celebrities that didn't turn their head once he became president.
Yeah. So
Dana White, when he's trying to get the UFC going, nobody would have these fights. It wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And he was buddies with Trump, and Trump said, "Come here, you fight, build it, blah blah blah." So he's worth all this money. They sold for billions. His buddy gave
it's like people are acting surprised, but no, it's the circles they run in. But did you see Vince with the mustache?
Yeah.
He looked like a creepy Walt Disney villain or something. I don't know what the hell that was. What? I've never seen a man with facial hair. And like now, the biggest deal in history for them, and he's up there looking like Vince's evil twin. Sinister mustache.
Hey, he could really be a villain in a movie, for real.
It was like when what's his name? Howard Hughes, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, when he goes crazy. I think that's what's happened to Vince.
I feel like you could have been in Indiana Jones' Last Crusade.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Perfect.
You know what happened to Vince? As he was walking, trying to get to the bathroom, started shaving, took a weird step, and his quad blew. And that's why he had to leave the mustache.
So, is that hereditary in the McMahon family? Because let's go to WrestleMania. Shane McMahon comes back. He pops his quad.
Yeah, like, I saw this deal. It's McMahon 0, quads 3.
Yeah, I mean, you throw Triple H in there. He's married into the family. He's tore his quad. But outside of Shane tearing his quad, did you take any of WrestleMania in? Did you watch any of it?
I did, but Mr. Brown, who doesn't follow it like we do, was actually texting us watching it, which made me think, all right, I'm not such a loser here, because I really enjoyed the show. What did you think of it?
No, I mean, for me, and for at least a decade now, because I'm not real big fan of the new product, but my shows are always Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Yeah. And then I'll admit, last year I didn't even watch WrestleMania because I wasn't a big fan of doing the 2-night thing.
Yeah,
so I missed Saturday this year. A person I'm talking to, big wrestling fan, so I started messaging them, and I messaged you guys in the group text, and I was very pleasantly surprised with Sunday's card. It was a great card for WrestleMania for me, not even knowing the storylines.
I thought it was a great card on Sunday. And I'll say this, you can hate whatever you want to about Logan Paul and Jake Paul. They know how to self-promote, and Jake Paul is good in the ring. That match with him and...
well, they re-signed him for another year.
Yeah.
Seth freaking Rollins.
That was on Sunday.
Oh, I missed that.
And he had it set up where he ends up frog splashing onto a thing of Prime, which is his drink. All the kids are drinking it. I think that was excellent. I really enjoyed seeing... Demon Finn Balor.
That was a hell of a match in Hell in a Cell.
The only thing that sucked about that one is he got his wig split so bad that, they had to go.
Was it?
How many staples did he get?
I don't know. They gave him at least 10 in the ring just so he could finish the match.
I love that intro and that character.
But, the match was going so well, and then that kind of took the steam out of it. Like, props for Edge. Like, he was trying to buy time. Like, he was setting stuff up. But
props to Edge for just being in there with a broken freaking neck, man. How does he do that?
10 years later, after retiring,
he had
it's
a
impressive.
Pretty sweet-ass entrance, too.
He's one of the best performers.
Think about the Slayer.
He's one of the best performers in the history of the WWE.
Yeah, he's...
I thought he was going to come out with the Brood, like with Gangrel and everybody.
He's kind of done that similar intro here.
I would love to see Christian and Gangrel pop up with him.
Well, because then it said like Brood Edge on there.
I was waiting on it.
Yeah, that's good shit. Yeah. We always remember those entrances.
So a match that happened earlier than that one that we were all texting about was Sheamus.
Best match of the night.
Intercontinental.
Hands down.
Yep.
Sheamus, Gunther, and I can see his face.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. Matt, for big guys, they put on a really good athletic match that they didn't try to do anything over the top that would have been like out of character.
I knew Sheamus because I loved Sheamus back in the day. I knew McIntyre because he rose up once he got the beard. I knew nothing about Gunther, who lost all this weight that Chad showed us. But I was immediately a fan just by what that match. And this is hard for me to do. For me, no one wins me over in one match, and he did.
I mean, the thing that helps is these guys have all been working programs with each other for the past 6 months. So they've already had excellent matches. So I'm like, all right, you're putting all 3 of them in WrestleMania. They're going to get everything they got. And what's nice about it, and not everybody's going to like this, but no flips, no super kicks, no suicide dives. I mean, they did a couple things. But what made the match so good was the psychology and you felt the tenacity, you felt the impact of every kick.
Everyone was bleeding from chest slaps.
Yes.
They broke skin on their chest from chest slaps.
You know, once one of them does, you know they're cut. Right there, you got him.
Like, everyone was literally bleeding from slaps. Like, Ric Flair was like, woo?
Yeah.
After that, he's like, exactly.
One part of that match where Sheamus has got him bent over and it's WrestleMania 39 and he goes past
the
10.
beats of the
I thought
Bowery.
he was going to go all the way to 39. I think his arm got tired, so he had to quit at like 22
He should have switched arms.
Yeah.
I mean, that was everything right about wrestling. That was definitely match of the night.
So, what'd you think about the finish?
For
Roman and Cody.
I had this creeping feeling it was going to happen.
He has to go over 1,000 days.
But I'm like, but you know, here's the thing: is they have more story to tell now. You know, this was, like imagine when Stone Cold won the title from Shawn Michaels the first time. Michaels retired. They never got to run it back. You know, you never got to see it continue. You got time with these guys. So, yes, Roman is good for the business because everybody wants to see him lose. Now you got Brock Lesnar in the mix. And I just want to see where it goes. But the thing is, Cody's this white-hot baby face. It was a given he was going to win. So that's what made it nice is they didn't give it to him. And now he's got to earn it. And now some people are thinking it's a screw job because he came from AEW. We're going to show you for all that stupid shit you said about us. Yeah. And then others are going to enjoy the ride as he tries to make his way back. So I'm a fan.
And there were so many moments during that match where you're like, Cody is getting the pin here.
Well, yeah, the near falls.
And it didn't happen.
There's one, he had the pin, the crowd's just counting or whatever.
When he pulled off the Dusty move.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, here it is. And then he kicked out and you're like, fuck.
It was a good match. It's how you book things, though. Like, I know everybody thinks the payoff has to be WrestleMania, but the calendar moves on. There's a show the next day. There's a show next month.
No, I mean, I agree because you're not even just for me, but you're trying to get people to watch more than just WrestleMania. So maybe you'll watch the next pay-per-view now.
And now it's unpredictable, right? Like you thought it was going to be Cody. Now we're showing you that you never know.
Right.
I thought it was good. Well done. I really liked it.
I kind of liked it. I was interested from like a backstage or a different viewpoint with Vince being out of the picture. How was your biggest event in a year?
Is he?
Wow. Supposedly. How was Triple H going to look in the biggest event of the year when basically every last decision was his to make? And I thought it was a great weekend.
Well, I mean, anytime you put 160,000 people in a stadium, you know, you're going to – I mean, they said it was the most lucrative event they've ever had.
In L.A.
Yeah.
So when's the next pay-per-view? And what is it? Do you know?
Probably next weekend.
You know what it is?
It's Backlash. I don't know who or what's on the card there.
Okay.
But, you know, they're building something. A lot of times you run stuff back.
And also, I have another follow-up question. So what's going on with AEW? Is it over now?
No, they're still around. Interesting enough, last week they had a really big announcement. If you saw this, they're doing, I think it's when they do Double or Nothing, they're doing it in Wembley Stadium.
Okay.
So this is them saying like, all right, we're going to see if we can do a stadium show. I have a sneaking suspicion it'll be Sting's last match. That'll be what they do to kind of, you know, you want that on the marquee. And then my other prediction is I think they'll save the return of CM Punk to be with FTR versus the Elite Like if they keep them away from each other and that's what you get,
Yeah.
like that'll people want to watch that.
You would have to have a combination of that to get a sellout at a Wembley.
Yeah. So they're still doing
Kind
their
of the name
thing.
recognition.
But whenever WrestleMania comes, though, you see how far apart the two companies are.
So here's the other thing. We're looking at them having finally sold WWE. You know what Vince bought it for?
Was
When he bought it from
like
his dad?
$5 million?
It was like $3 million or something
yeah.
like that. What they sell for $9 billion?
$9 billion.
How?
What's that?
Dang.
What's that percent?
You didn't put 40 years work for like a 877,000% increase.
I forgot I had WWE stock. I should have looked and seen what that did to it. I got to look now. Anyway.
I just think that's pretty freaking amazing that you bought it before it was mainstream. You used to have your pay-per-views. All you had was house shows. If you were lucky, you were on Saturday nights. You build that into 4 big events a year. Then you're on TV 2 or 3 nights a week. One pay-per-view a month, 12 a year. It's amazing what you built a kind of fake soap opera product into.
Can't say fake. It's not fake.
It's real to me, damn it.
Choreographed.
Real me, damn it.
It just blows my mind.
Well, I'm off this weekend, fellas. Actually going to enjoy some. I probably celebrate the wife's birthday here, but I don't give her many weekends off. I feel like spring's here, so I'm looking forward to having some sunshine. Probably going to end up working in the yard, but you guys got anything exciting going on this weekend?
No, nothing over the top.
You just going to sit in the garage and enjoy garage beer drinking weather? Is that what's happening?
That is that time of year. There's nothing better after a hot day cutting the grass is taking your socks and shoes off and having a nice cold beer.
I'm going to mow my first lawn here.
Is this breaking the seal for the season?
I've been putting it off because one side was really way past due, but I was waiting on the rest of the yard to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that Saturday, and then after that, I've got a full day lined up of seafood and checking out stuff and just chilling.
There you go.
Gotta try Jewel City.
I'm ready.
I know. Never mind. I'm not even going into that. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just call it a night, gentlemen. It's been wonderful talking to you guys.
I'm glad to be back, guys.
2 weeks, man. We got I know summer is daunting, right? Like we all have stuff going on. We'll probably miss the show again a time or two, but we'll strive for that consistency. Hopefully, we have some interesting NBA playoff action to talk about when we come back next week, and we'll just see if that can carry us a little bit longer. But,
and some guests on the horizon.
Go Bulls.
yes. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for letting us invade your ears. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Follow us on social media. We will see you next week. We promise. Until then, have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.